Alrighty, folks, we are now 5-0 in our last 5 daily best plays on my premium site. Another victory yesterday. Having a red-hot week in that package. Of course, real quick, I got to send a huge congratulations out to all of my chairman members as well. Because folks who are signed up to my chairman package cashed in on 6 different plays on my premium site yesterday. We had the Orioles, Brewers, Phillies, Yankees, New York Rangers on the puck line. We were catching plus 1.5. And we also hit on a parlay. And the only way you could have cashed in on all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman membership. And I'll explain a little bit more about all that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick time out and welcome you to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today for Sunday, June 2nd, 2024. Happy Sunday to you. Hopefully you're having a great weekend. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. Once again, got to congratulate all of you smart, intelligent, opportunistic chairman members out there for cashing in on 6 different plays on my premium site yesterday. It was certainly a great day. Now, if you're not a chairman member, I don't know what you're waiting for. Chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And of course, as an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. And even if you're not really interested in accessing all of my premium selections, but maybe you could use like one a day, well, like I said, my $1.99 daily best play is currently 5-0 in our last 5 plays in that membership. It's only 6 cents a day. If you're watching this video, if you watch it every day, if you watch it a couple times a week, what are you waiting for? I don't know what you're doing. 6 cents a day. You're missing out on 6 cents a day. I don't know what you're doing. I'm also 9-2 of my last 11 underdog tier package picks. 6-2 of my last 8 Major League Baseball tier package plays. And finally, folks, we are 3-0 in our last 3 board member tier package picks. And the good news is we have plays going off in all of those packages here today. And they're all included with your purchase of the chairman membership. The site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, we're going to dive into some free content. We're going to start off with the Twins at the Astros, 105 Eastern first pitch. Houston's minus 145, totals 8.5. Hunter Brown for Houston. Simeon, I always struggle with this name. That's why I used to call him SW, which also means sex worker. Let's try to say this in one, thing here. Simeon Woods Richardson. He's going to be the starter for Minnesota. And, through 40 innings of work this year, the righty Richardson has yet to record a loss. As a matter of fact, SW has got an ERA in the 2s along with a 1.10 whip. And of course, as a team, the Twins have hit the ball quite well on the road. They're actually a top 5 run-producing team away from home. And they're facing Hunter Brown, who's just 1-5 on the season with an ERA in the 6s. And out of 31 total ball games at Minute Maid Park, the Astros still have a losing record at home. They're also covering the run line in just 41% of those home games. Give me Minnesota plus 1.5 over 8.5. Next matchup, Tigers, Red Sox, 135 Eastern first pitch. Boston's minus 155, totals 9. Brian Bayo for Boston, Casey Mize for Detroit. And even though Mize hasn't been great, the Tigers did get the W in 5 out of their last 8. And they're taking on a Boston team who's struggled offensively at home. These guys are a bottom 5 run-producing team at home in the American League. They are also striking out more times a game at home than any other lineup besides one. Now, injury-wise, O'Neill and Yoshida are out for Boston. Mark Canha's questionable for Detroit. 4 out of the Red Sox last 6 at Fenway did stay under the total. They were also 60% to the under in their last 10 meetings with Detroit. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of unders to go around. Give me Detroit plus 1.5, under 9. Next contest, A's, Braves, 135 East. Atlanta's 240, totals 9. Charlie Morton for Atlanta. Luis Medina making his season debut for Oakland. And I'll tell you what, Medina got roughed up a bit in 2023. He had a 3-10 record along with an ERA in the fives. And even if he does have a good showing here today, probably not going to get much run support. The A's are dead last in hits per game on the road. They're facing Charlie Morton, who's 3-2 with 59 strikeouts. And of course, at the plate, the Braves continue to hit well at Truist Park. They're a top 5 hit producing lineup at home. Give me the Braves minus 1.5 over 9. Next contest, a little AL East action. Rays, O's, 135 East. Baltimore's $1.35, totals 8.5. Cole Irvin for Baltimore, Zach Littell for Tampa Bay. And despite some good numbers out of Littell, the Rays just don't want to win for him. Out of 62-plus innings this year, the righties recorded only 2 wins. He's actually just 2-3 on the year right now. And a lot of that is due to some poor plate appearances by Tampa. These guys are a bottom 5 run producing team. And they got to face Cole Irvin, who's 5-2 with an ERA in the 2s. And even if Irvin struggles, he's backed by a top 5 run scoring lineup. Gunnar Henderson's 3rd in the bigs and homers with 18 of them. He also has the 6th highest OPS average. And out of 14 ball games against the AL East this year, Baltimore's posted a record of 11-3. 4 out of Baltimore's last 5 home games got over the total. They also went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me Baltimore minus 135, over 8.5. Next game, Pirates, Blue Jays, 137 Eastern start time. Toronto's $1.65, totals 8. Chris Bassett for Toronto, Quinn Priester for Pittsburgh. And even though Priester's been pretty bad, the Pirates have done a decent job cashing in on the run line. They're 19-12 against the number in their road games. That's good for 61% in that category. And they're facing a Toronto club who's covered the run line in just 42% of their contests in their own building. And a lot of that has to do with their bats. Toronto's a bottom 10 run producing team. George Springer is hitting just .204. Alejandro Kirk has an OPS in the 500s. Give me Pittsburgh plus 1.5, under 8. Next game, D-backs, Mets, 1:40 p.m. East. Arizona's minus $1.15, totals 8. Brandon Pfaadt for the D-backs. Tyler McGill for New York. And even though McGill's had 16 brilliant innings, the Mets don't want to win for him. McGill's 0-2 already coming into today's start. And a lot of that has to do with the bats. The Mets are currently a bottom 3 run-producing team at home. They're facing Brandon Pfaadt, who's struck out a bunch of batters this year himself. The righty's got 63 strikeouts and a 1.07 whip. He's also backed by a top 10 run-producing lineup. Now, injury-wise, Gurriel is questionable for the D-backs. Keep an eye on him. 7 out of Arizona's last 10 ball games fell under the total. Give me the Diamondbacks minus $1.15, under 8. Next game, Rangers, Marlins, 1:40 p.m. East. Texas is $1.25, totals 8.5. Andrew Heaney for Texas, Trevor Rogers for Miami. And I'll tell you what, Rogers has been terrible. 1-6 record, ERA in the 5s. And even if Rogers throws well here today, the Marlins don't score many runs. They're in the bottom 5 in runs per game. And they're facing a Texas team who does the majority of their scoring away from Arlington. These guys are a top 10 run-producing team on the road. And in their last 10 head-to-head meetings with the Fish, Texas averaged over 6.7 runs a game. Carter is still out for the Rangers. Garcia inactive for Miami. 7 out of the Marlins' last 10 ball games did stay under the number. Meanwhile, Texas went 8-2 to the under in their last 10. Give me the Rangers minus $1.25, under 8. Next game, Nationals, Guardians, 1:40 p.m. East. Cleveland's minus $1.45, totals 8.5. Darren McGaughan for Cleveland, Jake Irvin for Washington. And as good as Irvin's been, well, he does come into today's ball game with a 2-5 record on the year. Washington just not getting the job done, not capitalizing. Irvin's got good stuff. The Nats as a team do not. And of course, a lot of that has to do with poor hitting. Washington's in the bottom 5 in the league in hits per game while traveling. And they'll certainly have to do better than that because Cleveland's got a top 3 run-producing lineup themselves. These guys pound the baseball. And out of 26 contests at Progressive Field, the Guardians have a win percentage of .769. Now, 3 out of the Guardians' last 4 home games got over the total. They also went 8-2 to the over in their last 10. Give me the Guardians minus 145, over 8.5. Next game, White Sox, Brewers, 2:10 Eastern first pitch. My eyes are, there we go. White Sox, Brewers, 2:10 Eastern start time. Milwaukee's the $3 favorite, totals 8 runs. Freddie Peralta for Milwaukee, Nick Nastrini for Chicago. And I'll tell you what, Nastrini's lost 4 games in 16-plus innings. He's 0-4 with an ERA of .992. Of course, at the plate, the White Sox are the worst run-producing team in the league. And they're going to have to face Freddie Peralta, who's got 82 strikeouts in just 62-plus innings. The righty's also got himself an ERA in the 3s, along with a 1.06 whip. And even if Peralta does struggle here today, he's backed by the best hit-producing lineup in the league. Milwaukee averages more hits a game than any other roster in baseball. William Contreras and Christian Yelich, they're doing most of the damage for these guys at the dish. Now, 6 out of Milwaukee's last 10 ball games did fall under the total. Give me Milwaukee minus 1.5, under 8. Next game, Padres, Royals, 2:10 Eastern start time. Kansas City's minus 130, totals 8.5. Cole Reagans for Kansas City, Michael King for San Diego. And even though strikeouts are up for King, he does not have a winning record to show for it. The righty's also got an ERA in the 4s, and they're facing a KC lineup who averages more hits a game at home than any other lineup except for one. And of course, on the mound, Cole Reagans has been, well, downright good. He's got 83 strikeouts and a 1.19 whip. Now, Massey's out for Kansas City. Bogart's inactive for San Diego. The Pods' last 4 straight on the road did get over the total. Meanwhile, Kansas City went 7-3 to the over in their last 10. Give me KC minus 130, over 8.5. Next game, Reds, Cubs, 2:20 Eastern start time. Chicago's minus $1.20, total 7.5. Ben Brown for Chicago, Nick Lodolo for Cincinnati. And I'll tell you what, Lodolo's been solid on the bump for Cincy. He's 4-2 with an ERA of 3.12. And through 40-plus innings of work this year, the lefties also got 46 strikeouts and a .94 whip. And they're facing a Cubbies team who lost 11 of 18 against the NL Central this year. They're also having problems at the plate, especially at Wrigley. Chicago averages under 7.1 hits a game on their own diamond. Give me the Reds plus $1, under 7.5. Next game, Yankees, Giants, 4:05 Eastern first pitch. The Yankees are minus $1.45, totals 8 runs. Nestor Cortez for New York, Blake Snell for San Francisco. Now, to 19 innings of work this year, the lefty Blake Snell just hasn't been good enough. He's 0-3 with an ERA in the 10s. Of course, at the dish, the Giants have struggled offensively against the Yankees. Out of their last 10 head-to-head gatherings, well, San Francisco's been held to just 2.8 runs a game on average. There's a good probability we see more of that today. Nestor Cortez has an ERA of 3.30 along with a 1.06 whip. And these Yankee pitchers have been dominant this season. They're allowing fewer runs a game than any other staff in baseball. John Birdie's still out for New York. Wade and Luciano inactive for San Francisco. The Yankees are 20-14 to the under when they bat first. Give me the Bombers minus 145, under 8. Next contest, little NL West action. Rockies, Dodgers, 4:10 p.m. East. The Dodgers are minus 290, totals 8.5. Gavin Stone for Los Angeles, Austin Gomber for Colorado. And even though Gomber's put up some excellent numbers, the lefty's got just one win to show for it. Matter of fact, out of 58-plus innings of work this year, the lefty Gomber comes into today's game with a 1-2 record. And a lot of that has to do with hitting. Colorado's a bottom 10 run-producing team on the road. And they're facing Gavin Stone, who's 5-2 with a 1.19 whip. And I'll tell you what, these Dodger pitchers are now allowing fewer runs a game than any other staff in the National League. Now, injury-wise, Muncy's still out for the Dodgers. Jones and Beck inactive for Colorado. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5 over 8.5. Next game, Angels-Mariners, 4:10 Eastern first pitch. Seattle's $1.90, total 7.5. Luis Castillo for the Mariners. Griffin Canning for Los Angeles. Now, the righty Canning's just 2-4 on the year with an ERA in the 5s. Of course, as a team, the Angels lost their last 4 straight. They also dropped 8 out of their last 10. Now, the Mariners' last 7 ball games themselves, they've got the job done in all of those contests except for one. They're also 20-11 at home, and they're doing a nice job of limiting base runners. These Seattle pitchers give up fewer hits a game at home than any other staff in the league. That includes the Yankees. Now, I'll tell you what, don't let Luis Castillo's record fool you. The righty's been throwing gas. He's got 75 strikeouts and a 1.19 whip. Now, injury-wise, Polanco's still out for the M's. Sano and Drury still inactive for Los Angeles. 3 out of the M's last 4 at home fell under the total. They also went 7-3 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Mariners minus 1.5, under 7.5. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for the video. Going to be in that Cardinals-Phillies game, 7:10 Eastern first pitch. Philadelphia's minus 135, totals 9 runs. Taijuan Walker for Philadelphia, Lance Lynn for St. Louis. And even though Lynn's look good, the Redbirds just don't want to win for him. He's 2-3 on the season with a 1.34 whip. And out of 31 contests away from Busch Stadium, the Cards are currently in the bottom 5 in road scoring. And they're facing a Philly lineup who leads the majors in runs per game. Alec Boehm's been driving in all the runners. Bryce Harper has a high OPS average, on base all the time. Hit a huge home run last night. Now, injury-wise, Trey Turner is still out for Philadelphia. Contreras inactive for St. Louis. Give me the Fightins, minus 135, over 9. And with that, folks, we're going to dive into our quick pick recap. Give me the Twins, plus 1.5, over 8.5 runs. Tigers, plus 1.5, under 9. I'm 5-0, my last 5 daily best plays on my premium site. Atlanta Braves, minus 1.5, over 9 runs. Orioles, minus 135, over 8.5. Pirates, plus 1.5, under 8. Diamondbacks, minus $1.15, under 8 runs. Rangers, minus $1.25, under 8.5. Guardians, minus 145, over 8.5 runs. Milwaukee, minus 1.5, under 8. Royals, minus 130, over 8.5. Reds, plus $1, under 7.5. Yankees, minus 145, under 8 runs. Dodgers, minus 1.5, over 8.5. Mariners, minus 1.5, under 7.5 runs. And with my next and final free pick, give me the Phillies, minus $1.35, over 9. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. With that, folks, happy Sunday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.